Hi, my name is James Peacock for Mobility Deck. Wheelchair ramps are an essential assistive equipment for people who use wheelchairs. Without one, moving a wheelchair up or down stairs can not only be an arduous task, but also a dangerous one. In light of this, getting a ramp set up for your home is a crucial need for many wheelchair users, and unfortunately, often a costly one, with many ramps, depending on the type, costing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. It's this cost that begs the question, will Medicare pay for a wheelchair ramp? Generally speaking, the answer is no. Medicare will not pay for a wheelchair ramp. The reason for this is that Medicare Part B will only cover durable medical equipment when directly medically necessary as affirmed by a licensed physician. That said, there may be exceptions under specific Medicare Advantage plans. Despite this, fortunately, there are other ways in which you can acquire a wheelchair ramp without putting a massive dent in your wallet. But first of all, I just want to go a bit further into exactly what Medicare's durable medical equipment policy is. The durable medical equipment policy from Medicare covers a wide range of equipment that is used for medical purposes. This includes devices like wheelchairs, hospital beds, crutches, canes, suction pumps, and oxygen equipment, as well as other items and accessories. However, generally, Medicare will not cover a wheelchair ramp because a wheelchair ramp is not considered directly medically necessary in the same way as, for example, an oxygen tank is. However, there are exceptions to these rules. If your loved one plans to use a wheelchair ramp because it has been deemed medically necessary by a licensed physician, you might be eligible for full reimbursement. Of course, this is easier said than done. The bar set for medical necessity is high, and mere inconvenience is unlikely to meet it. In reality, most of the time, wheelchair ramps are not considered to be medically necessary equipment. While this is contestable in court and has been done so on a number of occasions, the legal costs of a case of this nature will add up to much more than the price of a ramp itself, making the strategy pointless. It's also worth noting here that in relation to Medicaid, the same rules will typically apply. When we think of a wheelchair ramp, we usually think of a permanent, unmovable fixture to a property. However, most of the time a permanent ramp is not what a wheelchair user needs. Thankfully, temporary options are often much more affordable. Portable wheelchair ramps, or temporary wheelchair ramps, are smaller than permanent ramps and are designed to be easy to move from one place to another. They are cheaper, more flexible, and generally a great option if establishing a permanent ramp is likely to exceed your budget. The best place to start looking for a decent temporary wheelchair ramp is just to Google "buy wheelchair ramps near me." I've put a link to that Google search in the description of this video. You should be able to find something affordable that matches your needs without having to spend thousands of dollars on a permanent ramp and the planning and construction that's involved with that. Finally, if a temporary wheelchair ramp is still likely to be too expensive for you, there are other options to consider. There are many religious and charitable organizations that help people with disabilities acquire wheelchair ramps. Some of these organizations pay for the full cost of purchasing a ramp, whereas others will only take care of part of the cost. But in either case, you'll end up saving a lot of money. We'd suggest checking out the Habitat for Humanity, the Wounded Warrior Project, and United Way to get financial assistance for a wheelchair ramp. Now, not every person is going to be eligible for all of these different charities, but these are good places to start just in terms of opening a conversation, asking around, and seeing what options and charities are available to you. Other organizations it might be worth looking into include the National Council on Independent Living, Rebuilding Together, the Reef Foundation, and the government's Corporation for National and Community Service, and I've linked to the websites of all of those organizations in the video description. In addition, if your need for a wheelchair ramp is only temporary, it might be worth considering renting a wheelchair ramp instead of buying one. If you contact your local or state authorities, Again, they should be able to point you in the right direction in regards to this. Of course, if all that fails, feel free to send us a message. We'll try to put you in contact with an organization able to help. Thank you so much for watching this video. We truly hope you found it helpful, and if you did like it, please feel free to leave a comment, send us a message, or visit our website. It's mobilitydeck.com.